優勝したんですけど、ここからまた頑張らないと笑われてしまいますので。
Those were the words of the happiest man in Japan that day, January 2020 title winner Tokushoryu. They were also the words of a fighter well into his 30s, but with just 25 tournaments experience in the top division. He could hardly expect to handle the top rankers on a regular basis, and with the exception of a stunning defeat of Kakuryu, most certainly didn't the following March. And despite some success against the men in the middle of the division, he went into last tournament embarrassed by what he'd achieved the year before. Should my title portrait really be up there with Hakuho's, was effectively what he said. With a rich array of salaried talent at Kisei Stable, he has all the sparring partners he needs and more to get both mind and body in shape. His worst ever score in Division 1 can thus only be explained by an injury, which becomes rather obvious in the bout reruns. He masked it well on opening day, knocking Kiribayama upwards before pulling him off balance, and on day 4, when beating strapping Kagayaki in much the same way. But on day 2, the famed pulling tactics of Aoyama helped expose the problem. Could you spot it? Perhaps this extra clue will confirm it. Tokushoryu hates it when the pressure falls on his left foot, refusing to plant it here and going to ground immediately here. Look at how Meisei exploits this fear too, swiftly tipping him onto that foot to cause panic, then forcing him to defend with it via this frontal right grip. That also happens to be Endo's favoured grip. He also dares the bigger man to resist with the left knee, knowing full well that he can't. Ryuden felt that foot rise on tiptoe during their Day 7 belt battle, then threw immediately from that side, while Tobizaru, hanging back to encourage a stumble, simply saw the foot slip and give way at the ring's edge. The NHK angle shows it better. Okinomi tried ruthlessly to raise Tokushoryu's right foot, first with a scoop, then with a thrust, while ex-judoka Akua was only ever planning to throw in one direction, forcing the unwanted camel spin. His losing score confirmed, Tokushoryu's meat became yet worse on day 11 when Midori Fuji got him hopping and crashing with his signature shoulder swing down. And on day 12, against hitherto winless Koto Shoho, well, normally when attempting that kind of throw, you'd raise the right leg to hook or trip one of your opponents, if your left can take the strain. On day 13, with no more to lose or hide, he finally disclosed the problem with taping, and stood up to Hokuto Fuji as best he could, before slumping to a 9th straight defeat. Now his very top division status was imperiled, and he seemingly went for broke against demotion rival Sadano Umi, demanding far more of the left foot and driving forward for the force-out. On the final afternoon, he was handed a match with the second division man hoping to take his top division slot, Daisho Maru. But the sublime inside left which gained him the title had lost its bite, and his left ankle soon betrayed him when obliged to backpedal. I deemed that a promotion-relegation playoff, meaning Tokushoryu looks to be heading for Division 2. "I'll make sure to reflect and train accordingly for March," was all he would say to reporters, upholding the sumo code which forbids blaming losses on injury. We hope that left ankle heals soon enough, for he still has much to offer.